Hello park managers and welcome to Jurassic World Evolution 3, a creative management simulation game where you can build your ultimate Jurassic World. In this video, we will guide you through everything you need to get started so you can begin your new adventure as a park manager. There are 3 main modes available to choose from. Our new campaign is set a few months after the events of Jurassic World Dominion, where the world is still learning to exist alongside dinosaurs. Take on a globe-trotting, non-linear story where dinosaur breeding plays a key role. Put your management skills to the test with Challenge Mode, where you will complete various tasks with the goal of achieving a 5-star park rating. And finally, Sandbox Mode provides you with the ultimate creative freedom to build the park of your dreams, or set various parameters to give you a similar experience to Campaign or Challenge Mode. Choose to build your park in a variety of locations. You'll have access to all of the maps from the campaign, large square maps from each biome providing maximum space for creativity, plus 8 extra maps from Jurassic World Evolution 2. The options of where to build are endless with the Island Generator, allowing you to create custom islands for your parks. Use the sliders to create a unique island map every time. Jurassic World Evolution 3 is available now on PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, with all platforms supporting keyboard and mouse and controller. To see a list of the controls, head to the settings on the game's pause menu. Once you have loaded into a park, you'll be greeted with the following layout, so let's get familiar with the UI. On the left of the screen, you have a list of icons geared for the creation and management of your park. Take a look at your park's financial and economic performance in the control room. The site map and heat map provided by the management view enable you to assess the overall layout and design efficiency of your park. Operations will provide various buildings that you require to run and manage your park. Create the spaces for your dinosaurs to inhabit using the Enclosures tab. Then, place structures for your guests to enjoy their dinosaur experiences in the Attractions tab, and lastly, attend to your guests' needs by providing various amenities. Because who wouldn't want a Triceratops t-shirt? Sculpt and shape the landscape to your liking using the powerful new terrain tools in the Environment tab. Connect your park and provide electricity to your buildings using pathing and power, and let your creativity soar with the vast number of pieces available in the Scenery tab. Lastly, Transport enables you to move tranquilized dinosaurs in the unlikely event of them escaping their enclosures. Multi-Select enables you to select numerous objects or buildings by clicking and dragging over an area, or you can just click on them individually. Take a scenic walk and admire your dinosaurs around your park using first-person view, and if there's anything you don't want in your park, simply demolish it. On the bottom right of the screen, you have your camera options, so you can change the view mode you are in, such as Standard, Free Look, and Placement. You will also find the Undo, Redo, and Play and Pause buttons in this taskbar, as well as your available money, park rating, and maintenance rating. Over time, infrastructure will begin to degrade due to wear and tear. The maintenance rating is an ongoing assessment of how well maintained a site's infrastructure is. Finally, at the top of your screen, you have the Calamity bar, which will inform you on any issues in the park that require your attention. Our current sandbox park already has a few things in it, but it's missing some essentials to get up and running, so let's jump in. Firstly, you'll need to place an arrival point so that guests can get to your park. You can find this in the Operations tab. When placing your arrival point and future buildings, you will need to make sure your guests and staff can get to them with the use of pathing. There are different styles and widths you can use, with colorable options and even natural and invisible pathing. When placing, you can toggle between straight and curved paths. If you change your mind later down the line, you can use the Replace tool to swap out the path type. Pathing can also be placed along varied gradients of terrain, and in a few short clicks, your guests can have a lovely view of your park from up high. For buildings to be operational, they not only require pathing linked to the arrival point, but also electricity. Go to the Power tab, and depending on your needs, you can place down either a small or large power station. To reach your buildings, place a substation which can be connected by pylons to the main power station. And for further distribution, you can either place more substations or link up some repeater stations. These can be a nice option if you prefer something smaller that can be tucked away. Backup generators, as the name implies, will kick in the hopefully unlikely event of a power failure. This is an important job as the enclosure gates will open if there is no power, and we've all seen what happens in that case. But moving away from the improbable event of doom, let's move on to our operational buildings. The control center is like the headquarters of your park, where you can hire and manage your scientists. The science center enables you to research new technologies and also extract fossils. The expedition center is where you dispatch dig teams to various sites to obtain fossils and amber. Your scientists will be needed for a variety of tasks, so you will need a staff center, which provides a place for them to rest and receive training, as well as increasing your staff capacity so you can hire even more scientists. All of your buildings will require care from the new maintenance ATV team due to wear and tear over time. So, you will need to place down a maintenance facility from the Operations tab. Staff will make use of ATV quad bikes to traverse the park to attend to fences and infrastructure. These can also be manually driven by yourself for a bit of off-road fun. To assign an ATV to an area, place down a maintenance post, select the post, and add the maintenance team. These teams will be vital in keeping buildings operational, fixing any broken fences, and automatically refueling any backup generators. With so many dinosaurs and guests to take care of, response facilities can provide you with much-needed security. They are equipped with ranger teams responsible for overseeing dinosaur welfare, and a capture team helicopter responsible for tranquilizing dinosaurs. To assign a team to an enclosure, place down a ranger post located in the Enclosures tab and add the task to a ranger team. They will patrol the enclosure and scan dinosaurs to check their welfare, restock feeders when they get low, and even clean infected feeders when necessary. If you want to be more hands-on, you are free to manually operate the ranger, capture, and ATV teams. For increased security measures, you can also place down security cameras, which you would assign to capture teams. These cameras are able to detect if a dinosaur in view becomes a threat to guests, even before escaping an enclosure. However, you won't only want to consider placing them near enclosures, because the more enclosures you have means the more cameras are required, increasing power usage. Plus, your capture teams have a limited number of tasks that they can be assigned to, so perhaps consider placing some security cameras near areas of high guest congestion, such as near amenities or hotels. Dinosaur welfare is a top priority, meaning your guests wouldn't want to see dinosaurs that are ill. So just in case this happens, it's best to place down a paleo-medical facility. This specialized team will address any health concerns by dispatching a medical veterinary unit, or MVU, to the infected or injured dinosaur enclosure. Assign a team to a ranger post within an enclosure and they will automatically patrol that area. Your staff will scan dinosaurs to check their health status, and should any ailments, such as an injury or disease occur, an icon will appear in your calamity bar. Minor ailments can be treated directly by the MVU, whereas major ailments will need to be addressed quickly, so you have to manually select the capture team from the response facility and order them to tranquilize the affected dinosaurs. Then, select the transport team to remove them from the enclosure and take them to the paleo medical facility for treatment. The moment you've been waiting for. Let's take a look at how to get some dinosaurs into your park. The first thing you'll need to do is hire scientists, so let's head over to the control center. You will want a good selection of scientists that will provide a variety of skills which are important for various tasks. For example, logistics is needed for expeditions, genetics for DNA extraction, and welfare is required for incubating eggs. Scientists can be trained at the staff center to increase their skill levels, and as your park rating increases, the hiring pool will contain higher-leveled scientists. With your scientists ready, it's time to go to the expedition center to search for some fossils. Assigning scientists with a higher logistics skill will complete the expedition faster, and when it's time to extract the DNA, you can select multiple fossils at once to fill up the extraction line, rather than do them one at a time. Extracting DNA will increase a dinosaur's genome, and once you have enough, you can begin synthesizing your dinosaurs. If you want to obtain hybrid dinosaurs for your park, this can only be done through research at your science center. Another way of obtaining dinosaurs is through the marketplace facility, where you can purchase dinosaurs or even encounter a fraudulent or mysterious listing. Every dinosaur will require an enclosure to inhabit, and there are a variety of options for land, aquatic, and flying species. Fences or natural barriers, such as cliffs or deep water for those that can't swim, will be required for land dinosaurs. So head into the Enclosures tab and take a look at what you can place down. To ensure you're using the appropriate fence, you can view the security rating of each dinosaur in the hatchery beforehand and use a fence that either matches or is higher than the security rating. Each type of enclosure has its own unique hatchery, which you'll need in order to begin synthesizing dinosaurs and incubating eggs. So let's go ahead and place a hatchery down in the enclosure that's just been built. Flying species will make use of the aviaries, whereas aquatic species will require a lagoon to inhabit. Both types of enclosures work the same in terms of placement. They will chain together. You will typically need a large space for them to be comfortable, especially for those wide-winged Quetzalcoatlus. Another option for your land-based dinosaurs is making use of natural barriers, which can be created using rocks, terrain, and deep water for dinosaurs that can't swim. So let's go ahead and set up an enclosure for your Ornithomimus. Firstly, you'll want to sculpt and shape the terrain using the tools available in the Environment tab. Let's create the overall shape and size for our enclosure by adding in a rough boundary and maybe some elevation to create an interesting landscape. Speaking of interesting landscapes, placing a waterfall can be done in just a matter of clicks. There you have it. Let's continue this by connecting it to a river that flows to the edge of the habitat using some shallow water and finally deep water to maintain the boundary. As previously mentioned, rocks can also be used along the boundary to act as a barrier for dinosaurs, but you will still need a gate so ranger teams can access the enclosure. Let's go ahead and place that down and use rocks on either side. Before doing any further work on this enclosure, let's take a look at synthesizing a dinosaur at the hatchery we just placed. Select the hatchery and click Synthesize Dinosaur to open the genome library. Here you can view all of your available dinosaurs in the all-new 3D dinosaur viewer. For a female dinosaur to be viable for synthesizing, you will need 50% of the genome, and if you have at least 70%, you'll also be able to create male dinosaurs as well. Let's go ahead and select the Ornithomimus. You're able to modify the genome by changing the color and pattern of the dinosaur as well as its traits. Here's a tip: you can also use research to unlock more traits, and additionally, the more genome you have for a dinosaur, the more traits you can adjust. Proceed to synthesize a batch of eggs by assigning scientists who are proficient in the genetics skill. And once the eggs are ready for incubation, you can select whether they are male or female. You can now either release the dinosaurs directly from the hatchery into the enclosure, or they can be airlifted to another location. Because you've set up the natural enclosure elsewhere, this will be a good opportunity to try out setting up a delivery zone. Select the delivery zone, and now a transport helicopter will arrive at the hatchery to pick up the delivery crate with your dinosaurs. Once the crate arrives in the enclosure, a message will pop up to let you know that your dinosaurs have arrived. Go on and click the message to see the release of your new dinosaurs. As a tip, if you ever change your mind about where you want your dinosaurs, you can simply set up a new enclosure, request a tranquilization from the ranger team, and use the transport team to move them to a new location. With your dinosaurs exploring their new humble abode, you will want to ensure that they're happy and comfortable, because a happy dinosaur doesn't only mean less chances of escapes, but also juveniles. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. Let's take a closer look at your new dinosaurs, so go ahead and select one. In their information panel, you will see tabs that cover comfort, ailments, appeal, territory, fertility, family tree, and infamy and other information. To attend to their needs, go to their Comfort tab and click Edit Environment. Here you can see any needs that require addressing, and what's handy is that each preference is indicated with a red heart. Let's go ahead and prepare the enclosure for our dinosaurs. You will have noticed that you had to place a suitable food source for your dinosaur. This is unique for the type of dinosaur you have. Herbivores will obtain food from plants, whilst carnivores will require a feeder. Flying species generally make use of a piscivore feeder which has to be placed in water, and aquatic species require fish feeders which are placed along the walls of the lagoon, or use the ever-thrilling shark feeder, which is always a fantastic spectacle for your guests to witness. Right, it's probably time to talk about the worst-case scenario, a dinosaur escape. If a dinosaur is detected as posing a threat, an icon will appear in your calamity bar. The capture team will automatically respond and proceed to tranquilize the dinosaur if it is seen by a security camera. In the event of a dinosaur breaking a fence and escaping its enclosure due to a lack of camera coverage, you will have to select the capture team and order them to tranquilize the dinosaur. If you have a maintenance post covering the area, an ATV team will be dispatched to repair the damage and secure the enclosure for you. The tranquilized dinosaur can then be transported back to its enclosure, and you can assess what might have caused the dinosaur to want to escape, such as a low comfort level. Some dinosaurs can have traits which makes them prone to higher levels of aggression, so you may have your hands full with this one. Perhaps wide open spaces would be better suited for this dinosaur. Let's request a capture team to tranquilize it, and then we can have our transport team release the dinosaur into the wild. Back to the dinosaurs that are behaving, let's take a look at breeding. In order for natural breeding to occur, there are a few requirements to be met. Firstly, your dinosaurs need to be of fertile age, which occurs as they get older, and you can check their fertility status in their information panel. Additionally, you can modify their genetic traits so they're more likely to breed as well. Once you have dinosaurs that are capable of breeding, you will need to place a suitable nest. There are small, medium, and large options available depending on the land dinosaur, as well as aviary and lagoon nests. Some species have nest placement requirements, so you may have to consider placing the nests away from guests or even other dinosaurs in cases of cohabitation. As previously mentioned, you will need to make sure your dinosaurs are healthy and their comfort level is full to encourage breeding. Finally, there has to be a compatible breeding pair in the enclosure, and once everything is right, all it takes is a little bit of time, and we have eggs. The eggs will incubate for a period of time, and once they're ready, you can go ahead and view your new little or not so little additions to your park. It's important to note that you can only obtain juveniles through breeding or the marketplace. You will want to keep an eye on your enclosure's population. This can be done through the use of contraceptives in a dinosaur's fertility tab, or you may even want to release your dinosaurs to the wild, like we did with that troublesome velociraptor earlier. If you would like to encourage a specific pair of dinosaurs to breed, you can step in and create a breeding plan. Simply select a nest, a compatible male and female, and then assign your scientists to the program. Now that you have juvenile dinosaurs running around, you will have to make sure their needs are met so they grow up into thriving adults. Their needs are a top priority, as their welfare will impact on that of the adults, and we know that happy dinosaurs equals happy guests and an increased park appeal. Let's take a look at what your new juveniles will need to help them get settled in. This may involve altering the environment and consider spacing, such as making it larger, food sources as they may not be able to reach it due to their size, social, requiring more or fewer adults in the enclosure, or they might not want to even cohabit with other dinosaurs. With so many varied species available in your park, let's take a look at how you can wow your guests using the attractions. Jurassic World Evolution 3 has a number of new attractions to offer, including some returning favorites such as the Zipline, Gyrosphere, and Jurassic Tour. Viewing galleries and platforms are a great place to start so your guests can closely observe the dinosaurs in their enclosures. Let's go ahead and place one now. They can snap to fences or be placed a short distance from the enclosure should you have a natural barrier. The aviaries and lagoons also have their own unique viewing galleries that you can use so your guests can view your flying friends or delve below the surface and peer into the murky waters. You can also make use of the remote viewing domes, which are a brilliant attraction, especially for guests to experience the depths of the lagoon. But the good news doesn't stop there, as there are also a number of new attractions in Jurassic World Evolution 3. The Dinosaur encounter allows guests to feed and interact with small to medium-sized herbivores. Take your guests to the sky with the balloon tour and watch it float over your park. And for our movie fans, let's take a moment and look at building out the Cretaceous Cruise. The enclosure is all set up with a perfect winding river, so let's go ahead and place the entrance for the attraction with the dock over the water. You will need to join the entrance to the path network and begin placing down the route for your kayaks to take. The route can run along both shallow and deep water, and you can even have it go through multiple enclosures. This requires fencing between the enclosures. When you place the route down, a gate will automatically be generated for the kayaks to pass through. Once you're all set up, why not take it for a ride yourself? Your park is now well on the way to success, and this means more guests will be coming your way, so you'll have to be prepared to cater to their needs. Amenity buildings will help provide for your guests as well as generate money for your park. You can find these in the Guests tab. Each of these buildings will have blueprints in various themes, so you'll be able to build out a park in no time. When placing, you can either have the building snap to the path or use the advanced move tool for more control. Each amenity building comes in varying sizes, which we'll look into later when exploring the financial management aspect of running a park. You can also provide your guests with somewhere to stay by placing hotels, or allow them to move more freely around your park by building a monorail or hyperloop. For those of you that want complete creative freedom, you can design any building from the ground up using the new modular building. Simply choose your building and select Custom Design. This will give you a core module, the functional part of any building, in order to build around. Or, if you want to add your own style to an existing building, you can select Edit Group to go in and change out any pieces and add your own. Experimentation is endless, and especially with scaling and advanced move, you can adjust details easily. Why not also try out the new parallax windows, where you can choose from a range of interior looks? When selecting your pieces, some of the scenery such as walls, flooring, and roofing use a grid system, and this is marked with a grid on the background. This makes creating buildings easier and ensures it all aligns correctly. As a pro tip, the core modules and the asphalt foundational floor pieces will flatten the surface of any ground you place them on, which can be really helpful when working on rough terrain. If you prefer to focus on getting your park built out and ready to run, there are plenty of stunning blueprints available for you to use for both scenery and buildings. As already mentioned, when selecting a building to place, you can choose from a variety of different themed blueprints, or you can go into the community creations to view some of the most popular blueprints made by other players. This is part of the Frontier Workshop, where you can grab incredible blueprints designed by other park managers just like yourself. We have now covered all the essentials your park will need to operate, so let's discuss how to manage your park to success. There are various ways of making money as a park manager: selling tickets, amenity buildings, contracts, and taking photos of your dinosaurs. The key to selling more tickets is park appeal. Your park rating goes up when you obtain more dinosaurs and when your guests can experience them in exciting ways through attractions such as the balloon tour, the dinosaur encounter, or the amazing new Cretaceous Cruise. Increase your appeal by having a variety of species and highly sought-after dinosaurs such as the T-Rex. Juveniles will also help boost your park appeal, as guests love to see them thrive. Watch as your appeal increases and more guests are excited to come to your park, building out your cash intake and allowing you to invest back into building your park out further. Speaking of investing in your park, be sure to build plenty of amenity buildings for your guests to spend their money at to further increase your finances. Amenity buildings come in different sizes. The larger the building, the more guests you can cater for with various services such as food, drink, or souvenirs. By adjusting the products and features, you can increase guest satisfaction and in turn, maximize your profits. Sometimes all it takes is providing a beanbag chair. You can also earn money by requesting contracts. These can involve completing fossil expeditions or even taking photos of your own dinosaurs eating a meal. Get even closer to your dinosaurs using the ATV, MVU, Ranger Vehicle, and Helicopter, which are equipped with cameras to take photos of your dinosaurs. And there we have it. You're all set to manage your own parks and build out your dinosaur network. When in-game, if you ever need any more info, just click the help button in the pause menu. And for any more information, visit the website for helpful guides and how-tos. Let us know down in the comments if you have any suggestions for guide videos you'd like to see in the future. Jurassic World Evolution 3 is out now and available on PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Don't forget to subscribe to the Jurassic World Evolution YouTube channel if you haven't already for future exciting content. Thanks for watching.